as usual, we're going to start with the classics. And our first classic recommendation for leading up to Halloween, if you know my mom, you've probably already guessed what it is, but it is Frankenstein. I'd like to read a quote from Mary Shelley, who is the author of Frankenstein. She said, "How I, then a young girl, came to think of and to dilate upon so very hideous an idea." And she says that because she wrote Frankenstein when she was only 18 years old, so that she could win a ghost story contest against her then boyfriend and Lord Byron. So,
That's right. There is so much that we could say about Frankenstein. Um, Mary Shelley was young, and this was a holiday that she had taken with um, Percy Shelley, whom she later married, and they had gone to um, somewhere in Switzerland, and it was a very rainy season, and so they stayed in, and they were telling these frightening stories, and she actually had the germ of the idea for Frankenstein in a dream. And I think the thing that I would want to tell people who've never read this is we all have the Hollywood image of, bolts in the neck and the lightning bolt on the forehead as our Frankenstein. That's not Frankenstein. Frankenstein is actually Victor Frankenstein, the creator of the creature. And we do know that Victor creates his unnamed creation, and I never call him a monster because the real monster is not the creation. Um, but he wanted to see if he could. Victor wanted to see if he could regenerate life, and so he takes pieces from the boneyard and the charnel house and the graveyard, and he puts them together, and he creates and reanimates this life form, and then he's horrified by it. So there's so many different things going on. It's not like Hollywood has made it to be, but it is a great, gripping, romantic era story. So there's beautiful descriptions, and it's a wonderful novel. It's a great novel. I love teaching it every single year. I look forward to it so much.
it is a great novel. It's one of those novels that's a pleasure to reread. It's a pleasure to revisit. We talked during our Q&A last week about novels that we like to reread, and you mentioned it. And I agree. Frankenstein is one of those novels that you see something different and you learn something different every single time that you
You
read
do.
it.